We are official. We are official today for our wise woman. We are interviewing Marci, and Marci came through Lori Love Jones. And in in the space that Lori is so often, which is a variety of spaces and places where she gets to know incredible people. She came back to me and said, Max, you have to know Marcy. You must interview her. Her heart is absolutely incredible, and her skill and all of the resources that you have gathered over time for your business and through the crystals, she absolutely adores you. And so I'm excited that we get to share you with everybody because you have many talents and gifts. And it, my guess is, not knowing your story yet, it did not probably come super easy. There's been some different challenges and things to overcome to get here. And so that's the part that's really exciting to hear because I don't know your full story, but I do know that Lori said that you are absolutely remarkable and she does not play lightly with words. She is
Mhm.
very specific about her circle. So, with that, share with us a little bit more about you.
Okay, well, I appreciate Lori. She's the best. Um, my name is Marcy, and I am a mom to three beautiful girls. I'm a wife, I'm a Crystal Reiki Master, and I also create guided meditations. So, my story is kind of well, I've always been a little bit of like a seeker, like learning and collecting information about the metaphysical world. And I've been interested in energy healing and mindset and intuition, yoga, like the power of belief, things like that. I didn't do a lot with that information. I just did a lot of reading, like filing it away. And then 10 years ago, I got cancer. It was AML leukemia, and I was dying. So it was like suddenly it was time to actually practice all of, those things that I had learned. So, yeah, it kind of like really was a catalyst to awakening my true understanding of how the body's wisdom and the power of your mind specifically in healing. And in the end, a lot of gifts came from that experience, so I'm thankful for those gifts. And today I'm a crystal reiki master, so I really love like helping to clear other people's energy fields. It's like when things build up in your field and you never really like release them or process them or let go, those are the things that can lead to like disease and things like that, or just feeling sluggish, or all of that. So I work on that with people. And then also I like creating these guided meditations that people can listen to on their own. When if they can't come see me, they can listen to meditations and help just transform their mindset and help them, raise the vibration and attract all the good stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of my story.
I love it. And so, from that, and how long had you been working on your craft or your skill that when you got sick?
It was probably, I mean, I didn't become a Reiki master until after. So it was like 10 years ago that I got sick in 2015. And it was 2016 that I started training for the Reiki. Yeah,
So something like you were aware of different things, yet you really
sure.
stepped into it after.
Yeah, and I used a lot of the things that I had learned when I was sick that really led me down this path. So just like for example, the first round of chemo, I got so sick. It was just really brutal. And something kind of just told me, like, okay, for the next, then I had to do five more rounds. I was like, okay, for the next five rounds, if you can get your mind right, it might not be that same experience that now I was expecting. So I just, the next time the chemo was going in, I was like, this is not going to hurt me. This is just going to kill the cancer cells. It's going to do what it needs to do. It's going to leave me healthy and vibrant and all of that. And I just went all in on that belief that it was going to, that was the outcome. And it absolutely worked. Like I never got sick again. I never felt nauseous, nothing. So I was like, whoa, there's really something to this. So it just kind of like opened me up to all of that. And I was just naturally drawn to so many things, like even little things like grounding. I was just compelled to lay on the grass every day that I wasn't in the hospital. I laid on the grass underneath this beautiful tree and I could just feel it helping to heal and things like that. So, medicine, of course, is a huge part of it, but it's just one part of it. And there's just all these other things that intuitively kind of blossomed that really helped me through that whole journey.
I love that. I wish I'll actually have to research this because I had read an article about how a light bulb can be it can be used by grounding, like literally taking wire in the ground wrapped around a tree, and it could literally turn on a light bulb because
Mm,
of that frequency. And
yeah.
like one of those things you read and you know, I didn't save it, and I remember thinking there's something to the grounding part, especially nowadays with all this technology that, like when I walk outside every single morning with my dogs, I wasn't very good in the winter time, I have to admit.
Yeah, it's harder then.
It was a and especially one time when I almost slipped off my back deck. I was like, I need to really be awake when I do this. And it's definitely more enjoyable in grass. And making sure that I don't walk outside with anything else, just me. So I can see how that, and that's also something that Lori just taught on is that when you're outdoors, it resets your body like 200%.
It's amazing. It is amazing. And I was definitely drawn to be outside. I mean, the air feels healing, the sun is healing. It's all so good for your body. So good for your body. Get away from the electronics and all the stuff and just allow yourself to heal.
hmm we are doing the Let Them Theory Mastermind by Mel Robbins, and we were in week number 4 last night. And we do a habit stacking approach. And this habit this week is to be offline for 1 hour. And everybody was, like, is that 1 hour a day? Is it 1 hour? It's whatever 1 hour you are available to do. And maybe it's 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, but like, and then the next step could be being offline, meaning being outside, like really looking at it's such a gift that we have what we have today. And it also means we need to take care of ourselves differently. So it sounds
Yeah.
like, as much as that was very scary, I'm sure, and very challenging physically, mentally, everything around you, especially being, you know, a mom, a wife, all the hats that we have, that it was extremely challenging. And the pivot, you have such a different appreciation for your skill set.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild how like getting sick with something serious like that, it just changes everything. I mean, they say like there's that saying, a person who is well wants thousands of things. The person who is sick wants only one thing.
I
Yeah.
love that. I
So
think
true.
it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And it's such a reminder that easily and just like that, we can be going down that road and not have checked in on ourselves, especially as women.
Yes.
Like I can, I'm not going to speak to the male part because I'm not one. As a wife, as a mom, as a business owner, all those hats, all those plates, and recognizing that none of it will matter if we don't have our health.
Yeah. Prioritizing it is a big deal.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So I appreciate you sharing your story. And we have a number of questions to share.
Okay.
And I know to be able to, really make a difference in that space for others, and being able to pass it on. So, what is the most important lesson you've learned on your journey to success, maybe life, business, that you wish more women knew?
I think One of the big things is that just to know that we are all creators and not just receivers. So, like, a lot of times you don't realize how powerful you actually are. A lot of times we just think, oh, like, you look at other people and you think, she's so lucky. These things happen to her. And I wish I could have that. And you're just kind of like waiting for something to happen. So I think like the realization that you're not just a receiver, you are actually a creator is a big deal. So, like, there's things you can do, there's actions you can take to bring the things that you want into your life, like working on, how you see the world, because whatever you believe is usually then true. So it's like, what are you attracting? And a lot of it is about just rewiring your brain to like get rid of any of those beliefs. A lot of them are from childhood or whatever that aren't really serving you anymore. So, yeah, just knowing that you are actually a creator and you just need to change the way you see things, rewiring your thought processes, and you can change your whole life that way. Just
I agree.
action. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm certified in rewiring and
Oh,
learning the science about that and how that structure really, like, literally reconnects in such beautiful ways. Yet it starts with a choice.
yeah.
Like the choice you made, like in that moment where you said, I'm going to see this differently. And you
Mhm.
saw it differently. And then you were like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
made it happen immediately. And I think so many times people will think things have to take, and it
Yeah.
doesn't. It doesn't have to take forever. It's the
Nope.
application immediately.
Yeah, it's like the world really does give you what kind of what you're expecting in a way. Like if you wake up and you're like, it's going to be a horrible day today, then it probably is. So, yeah.
I'm trying to remember who would say it to me growing up. Um, I think it was originally one of my aunts. And then it's interesting how people like show up and say the same thing and you're like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And she would say, "Your wish is your command." And I'd be like,
Mm,
I remember when she said it and I'd be like, not really sure what that means. And now I realize I say it to my child, especially my oldest son. I'm like, your wish is your command when he's like, oh, this is gonna suck. And I'm like, your wish is your command. You get what you just talked about. And he kind of was like, and I
yeah.
was like, so tweak it. Make
Yeah.
it like if you're gonna make up a story in your head, make up a good one, right?
Right.
I spilled coffee all down the side of me today, and I was headed for an in-person appointment. It was a little different nowadays with Zoom. You wouldn't see my
Hmm.
pants, right?
Yeah.
And I was like looking at the time thinking, we've all had that day. You know what I mean? We've all had that day.
Hmm.
And I went with it because I knew if I went back, changed my pants, like everything would be off just a little bit instead of getting somewhere early. And it's
Mm.
really interesting that choice, and I was like, I know, like I realized that making myself late and having that whole thing really was more about what I cared, what someone else thought,
Mm.
right?
That's a
Because
big
what
struggle too, because a
what
lot of
person
people really care what people think.
What person isn't alive that hasn't had the ketchup go right down the front of them? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or like there's
Yeah.
not a person alive that doesn't have that kind of thing. And then I actually caught myself and I was like, oh, come on. And I was like, I got out of the car and I was like, I wiped it up as much as I could and was like, it's okay. And I looked at my daughter and she's like, are you going to really change your pants? And I was like, nope, I'm not. It's okay. You know what I mean? I don't want to be late. This is really important. You know what I mean? And also showing
Yeah.
that example of like, it's okay. Everybody has this happen before, and all. So anyway, I agree. I
Love
agree.
it. Yeah.
Next question. How do you maintain focus, clarity on your vision, especially when you're faced with challenges or self-doubt?
Okay, so this is something that I'm constantly working on, because like self doubt can really get me. Um, yeah, like my inner dialogue sometimes is brutal. Like I can be so encouraging to everyone in my life. Like I'm the best cheerleader for everyone I know. But then for some reason, like when it comes to me, I'm really hard on myself. So, and I know that like that's okay, I've identified that. That is something I am working on changing. So, I guess it's about believing in yourself and like remembering to use all of your tools. Like if you find yourself suddenly spiraling, things are going bad. Sometimes this happens to me. I'll just like curl up in the fetal position and then I'm like, wait, what am I doing? I know all the things that I should be doing, but like you forget in the moment. So,
So you're human? Oh,
yeah,
thank God. I'm
right.
so glad
I
you're
mean,
human. That
yeah,
I think that's the most beautiful part is recognizing that we have those tools and resources, and sometimes
yeah,
we shut the box and we're like, "Oh, I'm good," until something new, and then you're like, "Get that new tool back out again."
yeah.
Not
It,
new tool, it's an old tool, but kind of dust it off a little bit, regroup.
yeah, I mean, it's so true. It's like we use these tools when everything's going great, but then the real trick is to remember them when you're struggling. So, yeah. And again, it's like those things we talked about that can help you grounding, breath work, meditation, positive self-talk, giving yourself grace and love, things like that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I haven't met a successful woman in business that doesn't isn't able to admit the doubt. It's just the difference of how long, like you said, when we sit in it, we can have the couch moment, we can have the dippy day, we can have that, or we can have a dippy moment, or we can, change our state sooner
Mm-hmm.
so that it doesn't become ours or otherwise. And especially I think with all the shifting that's going on in the world, like and Lori definitely lends to some different teaching that I'm unfamiliar with, which she'd say, "Oh, did you know this about this?" I'm like, "I didn't, but I feel it. I absolutely
Mm-hmm.
100% feel that shift." So it's recognizing it and shift, move, or my big word is pivot. Did you see the Friends episode?
Oh, yes.
I love it. I'm like, pivot. Yeah,
Yes.
so important.
Yes.
Okay, so what daily habits or practices, you talked about breath work, meditation, yoga. What is there anything else you have found that has supported your personal growth, achieving your goals?
So, yeah, I mean, I have like a morning routine that I really love. It consists of first thing, I go outside with like, I have my coffee and I get in the grass barefoot and I just do like a couple of minutes of grounding where I am just like washed over with gratitude. So I'm just praying and saying thank you for all the blessings in my life, even like some of the challenges, because as we know, like those are sometimes the things that help you grow and evolve the most. So just grateful for everything. And after that, then I have this 8-minute magic morning meditation that I recorded and I put it on my website and stuff, but I do that. So it's like 8 minutes and it just helps transform your morning. It has like affirmations and visualization and all of the good stuff. So I just feel like that gets me in like this really beautiful place. And then I go get like my workout clothes on and I do some morning stretching and like movement with some affirmations. And it's like my little morning routine. And I feel so fantastic when I do it. Um, like I notice the difference between starting my day with all of that versus starting my day scrolling on my phone. Night and day difference. Like I feel so sluggish when I start scrolling on the phone first thing in the morning. Like I don't really want to get up. I'm unmotivated. The difference is wild. So I make a point not to do that, but to go through my little morning routine of grounding, the morning meditation, and stretching and affirmations. And then I go hit the gym, and it's like awesome. Makes a big difference.
You're filling your cup instead of emptying it because whether we realize it or not, technology and the social aspect is such a gift. I mean, it's like You
Yeah.
know, like you live in a different state, a different zip code, a different season. I think it's kind of nice there weather-wise. Yeah, it's still different. It could be
Yeah.
sunny here and rainy there. So, like the brilliance of our technology, yet the honor of really, taking care of ourselves first. That's such a good reminder. And what I love the most about these interviews is that the most successful have it. And it wasn't, I'm sure somebody didn't tell you to do it. You started tweaking, saying, gosh, if I did this, I'm going to feel better. Or if I do this, like you start editing, going, that was good. I really enjoyed that. And then you look forward to the morning better, especially whether you're a night person and a morning person, a mom, all the things.
Yeah.
So I
It's
love it.
like experimentation, right? Just keep trying different things. I'm often inspired by other people. I
Mhm.
listen to what they do in their morning routine and I'm like, oh, I wonder like what that would feel like. I try it, I like it, I don't like it, whatever. But yeah, I mean, if you ask me what my morning routine is in 6 months, it'll probably be different because,
Yeah,
it's always evolving.
tweaky. Well, and
Yeah.
that it's because you're in tune to yourself because you know what you need differently in those seasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
Love it. So, if you could give one piece of advice to women stepping into their power and striving for their best selves, what would it be?
I think it would be figure out who you want to be and then start taking these little steps to become her. So, like being very specific, like future Marci, like what does she do? What things do I really want? So, like, I like to make a list of those things and then um, start like moving like this future version would, eat like she would, have a morning routine like she would, like work out like her, read like her, put your attention on the things you think that future awesome version of yourself would put their attention on. And then it's just like becoming her. And action is really powerful. There's no change without action. So just, even if it's just little steps, just taking these little steps to become that future version of yourself that you think would be super awesome.
I just had to write that down. Um, it's such a good reminder. No change without the action. And I think
Yeah.
that's where inaction is the doubt, like in that it's the
Yeah.
worrisome and the thoughts that keep us from that. But even if it's that little step that you were saying makes such
Yeah.
a big difference.
It's like just wishing for something different is not going to get you there. You're going to stay stagnant. So even if it's overwhelming to do these big changes, just like little action steps, like inching you closer to that person you want to be.
Beautiful. So beautiful. So, how do you balance ambition, rest, ensuring that you stay in line with your values and avoid the big B word of burnout?
Yes. I think it's about prioritizing yourself a bit. Like, I have kids. They're a bit older now, but for years and years and years, I would always have a to-do list every day and it would have all the things. And all the self-care things were always at the bottom of the list. And for years, I would make a list every day, but I never got to the bottom to the things for me ever. And one day I realized I was like, oh, I am never going to get to the bottom of the list ever. So it was about being like, okay, I think it's time to bump some some things for me up the list a little bit. And I would pick things that would only take a couple of minutes, instead of, because obviously I don't have an hour when you have little kids to just leisurely read a book or whatever, but you can carve out minutes. So just figuring out what little ways is good, little ways to kind of put yourself higher on the list. And then kind of understanding that if you take care of yourself and you're in a better place, that benefits everyone around you. And so, one of the ways like I like to do that is kind of just checking in. Like sometimes I'll do it in meditation and kind of just like ask myself, what do I need? Like just being really in tune with yourself. Like today, what do I need to be okay? And then you show up for yourself.
It's
So,
so beautiful. I believe, oh, this is so chilling. This is wild. So Sunday in our Worthy Collective, we talked about asking. And so many times in business, it's a matter of asking for help, asking for support, asking for the right client, ask, ask, ask. And then it was like, but wait a second. It starts with us. What asking yourself where to start. And I love that because so many times we are on the bottom of the list and then we wonder why we're not well. We wonder why
yeah,
we're burnout. We wonder, oh, where did that come from? Well, let me count the ways. So
yeah,
that awareness is so key. So if you could, this isn't on the list, but I'm just curious
yeah.
myself. So if you could recommend at this point from your knowledge of healing and now creating your own business, and what would you say the one, like if you could choose out of all your toolbox and all the things, what is the one tool? What is the one thing that you feel that was your, I would say, like you said, it's going to change for your routine, but what's the one part of your routine or part of what you do that would you know wholeheartedly that won't change?
Hmm. I think it would probably be the checking in with yourself because life moves so fast. And so often we just go from thing to thing to thing. And you can blink and like you don't even know what happened. So you don't know what you needed. All of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm sick, I'm run down or whatever. So I think it's very manageable to just do a little like, in the morning, like just breathe, close your eyes and kind of check in and be like, okay, how am I? What do I need? What can I do? And this can include others too. Like, what can I do to make today a wonderful, fantastic day? But I just think like taking a minute to listen to your intuition. Otherwise, you're just going, 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 and you don't even know what happened.
I think that's such a good point because at different stages, there's different things that we need.
Yes, it's
But if we
always
don't
changing.
ask, if we don't ask, then we don't know, gosh, I feel like I need a little more of this. And how much greater we feel when we acknowledge it because we're the one person that can make that difference.
Agreed. Yeah. Just
Beautiful.
knowing what's even going on with you. Like, oh, I feel like anxiety lately. Why? Even just knowing that you can't change it if you don't know it, like why. So things like that.
Awareness. Yes, it's the ABCs, awareness before change, all day, all
Love that.
day. All
Yeah.
So, thank you, thank you. I do have a few business questions for you. So, with this lovely technology, can you service a client over like Zoom like this to help with, like what are there things that somebody can do if they're not able to come see you in person?
Yeah. I do Reiki works distance. So I do distance sessions. I send the Reiki to the person and then at the end of it, I'll send them like a guided meditation to help ground them. And then I'll let them know like what crystals I used and things that I felt and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely works distance. And um, yeah, and then I have my meditation that can be downloaded from my website. If someone's looking for like a morning kind of reset, that's a good thing to have. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to work on expanding that. I have all these meditations written that can help with very specific things that people are struggling with. So I've just started recording them and hopefully I'll get a lot more of them on my website. And it'll be, very specific things like I'm doing one for children.
Mm.
There's some for like stress and anxiety, overcoming challenges, and self love, everything like you can think of. So I'm working on those so that could help people, that aren't here with me in the room. So
Oh my gosh, I love
yeah,
it. Well, thank you, thank you. We'll make sure
thank
that
you.
your website, everything is accessible so they can follow you, find your 8 minute, what did you call it? Your
Eight,
miracle
8 minute magic morning. Yeah.
magic morning. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. That's so great. What a way to look forward to the morning
Yeah.
and just making that a staple for sure.
Yeah.
And I think what's so special is that, carving out 8 minutes. It's not
It,
80.
8 minutes is the length of like when you hit snooze for 8 minutes. So it's like instead of hitting snooze, you can just lay there and listen to this and like
Yes.
transform your energy.
Yes, and it's how you choose to wake up. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and it
Intention. Yeah.
100% intention instead of no intention and letting it, squirrel.
Yeah.
Love it. So good. Well, thank you. I so appreciate your time, your focus, your energy, and sharing with us. And know that you're meant to share your story to inspire others. And that's the part of an inner view that I find so brilliant because then we get to share your skill set and where you've come from. And somebody's watching, a replay going, oh my gosh, how did she do that? And then you're like, contact me and I can give you, you know what I mean? You have your steps to your greater health. So, so inspiring.
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed talking with you. I appreciate it.
Yay.